testing out your quick thinking skills right now. So I will start out with Kalichi. If someone gave you $1,000 as a gift and told you that you had to spend it today, what would you buy?
A daughter.
Thank you, Table Master. Philadelphia Master's most welcome guest. $1,000 today. Spend it today. I'll take a trip. I'll buy a trip and fly away for a week. Somewhere that $1,000 can afford. It's not enough. See the interesting thing that $1,000 is no longer a lot of money these days. Unfortunately, it can't buy much, but guess what? It can definitely do a lot for maybe giving it out to people who need it. Since you can at least give back and get even more blessings. I'm being a little bit more Christmassy this time around. Thank you.
Stella, if someone gave you the opportunity to meet one celebrity, who would it be and why?
Good afternoon, hello, Master. Celebrity, Richard Gere, because I love him. I have seen all of his movies, and I think also as a person, he's a really nice guy, and I love it. I love his picture.
Okay, Bill, describe your favorite holiday memory as a child.
As a child? I gotta think for a minute. Because that is a while ago. But I'll tell you what my favorite was. My dad was a miner. And the mines, you could see them. And my father was a great skater. In the winter time we had ice on top of a, what would you call it? An environmental disaster. It was a lake, but it was caused by the effluent that came from the mine. And I always remembered my dad. He would take me on a little biscuit can, that just shows you how big I was. It was like a triangle, it was about a foot and a half long. He would send me out, give me his scarf, and he would take me around this little beautiful lake that was just a mud pie. But that was, to me, is a memory of a vacation with my father as a child.
Hulda, what would you tell an 8-year-old if they said there was no such thing as Santa?
Mr. Puppet Master, Philadelphia Masters, and welcome guests. If they think there's no Santa, well, I would tell the child that really, Santa Claus is somebody we dressed up in a red suit for the picture and for good memories, but your parents are really Santa Claus. They are the one that buy the gifts, and they're the one that put the cookie and the milk under the tree. So it's really for good times and for a good story. Thank you.
Vitaly, describe your favorite childhood toy.
Fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. No, just kidding.
Reverse.
We had one. I hope I fit into 1 second. Well, Mr. Tabletop Master, my favorite toy as a child was something which today we would call Lego. We had Lego pieces almost like today's, except they were quite big. So it was like a giant Lego. but you could still build all sorts of buildings from it. And I remember building nice houses, rise apartment buildings. At some point, I built like a mini village. And specifically for Christmas time, I would build a couple of houses and I would put them under the tree. So guests in the house, they would always ask a question, wow, where did you get those? And I would be so proud reporting that that was my creation. So I imagined myself at that time as an architect, and I was building real houses from my giant Lego pieces. Thank you.
Isabel, could you describe
She's not
how could you describe how you've been good all year?
Charlie, you're not listening, are you?
You're allowed to lie.
Make it up, yeah.
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and very welcome guests. Could I have that repeated? I'm a little bit deaf.
Describe how you've been good all year.
Good. Well, you know, I'm spirited, but I don't think I'm that good. Because I feel that to be good, you've always got to be watching what you say and what you do. And I'm not a person like that. I like to have fun and cuddle Santa Claus. All fun things. So I can't say I've been good, but I'm spirited. I enjoy life, and that's the most important thing. I am really spirited.
Veronica, can you give me another job Rudolph could do with his shiny nose?
Mr. Tabletop. Another job that Rudolph could do is his shiny nose. If you could wipe it on someone, especially when it's full of yuck. Then what else could he do with his shiny nose? Just run around and show it to people and have fun. Mr. Tabletop.
Alice, describe your most cherished gift you have ever received.
Oh, that's very easy, folks. The most cherished gift I ever received was a little baby girl on December the 8th. And my oldest son, my only son at that time, was very critically ill, having seizures every day and only had about 3 months to live. And she was born just before Christmas, absolutely beautiful. Blonde hair, blue eyes, all made to order. I knew it was going to be a little girl also. I don't know how I knew, but I knew. I always knew what I was going to have. And I cherished her. It was so wonderful. Everybody was very, very happy for us because they had seen all the troubles that we had had with our son. And they were cheering me all around the country practically. And I felt very, very happy.
Andrew, going back to when you were 8 years old, I was told you were naughty. Can you describe what you did that you were naughty?
Fellow Toastmasters in most ways. There's naughty and then there is being naughty. And I have to say, I was actually not the naughtiest of all boys. I was actually pretty good, except for this one time. When I did exactly what I was not supposed to do, which was get out of bed, go downstairs, and open all the presents. The rest of the family came down. My bad.
Now, as the year is starting to come to an end, Dan, how would you describe the past year of your life in one sentence?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It has been inside out and upside down. That's why I'm here today.
This one's for you, Anne. What one need and one want will you strive to achieve in the next year?
Mr. Table Topic Master, what one need and one wants that I strive. Wow. One need is probably I should learn how to cook because it's going to be very helpful. My husband has informed that he'll cook less, so it becomes a need now that I really got to learn how to cook. What one wants, and usually with wants you don't really get it, you get my children to argue a little less, including the 3 years old who start to argue with me about everything. So that's what one wants, which I already know that I'm not gonna get. But one need, I think I'm gonna should start working on it now. Thank you very much.
Lindsay, if someone gave you $1,000 as a gift, what would you do? You had to spend it in one day, what would you buy?
Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. What would I do with $1,000 that Kluchi hasn't already done with his $1,000? I would say I'm doing something this year that I feel very strongly about. So if I had this $1,000 and I didn't really feel like spending it on myself because I've already bought all my Christmas presents, I would support the Mississauga Food Bank, which feeds the hungry in the Mississauga area. So I would take my $1,000, I would walk myself down to the grocery store, and I'd spend about $800 there, and then I'd go buy myself some shoes.
Marl, what is your favorite childhood toy?
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. My favorite childhood toy was what you call a Viewmaster. Anyone know what a Viewmaster is? Well, that was the most cherished thing that I've ever had. And I made money from it too, because I would take it to school. And the kids would pay a penny a look. And those who did not have a penny, their credits to pay later. And sometimes I didn't pay at all. But you know what? It was fun. And that was my favorite.
Business?
Please vote for